Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 12, Remember. I'm your host, Clio, and with me I have John, Dom,
How's it going?
Pat, Michele.
Hi guys.
What up?
So, good episode?
Yeah.
This is we haven't had an episode like this in a while. There's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just... It's like... Did you guys happen to catch The Talking Dead?
Yes.
I thought, the first
Cut the
part.
first half.
It was a lot of, like, trying to domesticate a wild animal kind of feel through this whole episode, you know, and they covered a lot of that on The Talking Dead.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
they were out there for so long and then getting into
I get that, but I don't feel like it is like domesticating a wild animal. It's more like you're in a world where you can't trust anything.
Yeah.
Because it's about trust.
Well,
And maybe they can't go back to pre-apocalypse, but...
I kind of see it on both parts because you had Glenn say it even flat out when he's getting interviewed. We needed to find this soon because we wouldn't be able to adjust with society again.
Yeah, we've been out there too long.
They were too,
You know, they were too distorted that the only people that they cared about was their family, and that's it. Their close-knit group.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same point, you have Rick going and like, well, I'll take an authoritative figure and we'll take this place, and if they're too weak, we're just going to take it from them.
Yeah, and they're, like, right on the brink of not being able to trust anybody again, because the whole last season, you know, it brought us to Terminus, and they thought that was Sanctuary, and then, you know, that turned into let's eat everybody and escape and, you know, run away, but then they're kind of in the same situation here, where they finally get to this place that they think is supposed to be Sanctuary. This time it actually looks like it is, and they're conflicted with that, because they have trust issues, and rightfully so at this point.
Yeah, especially since almost everyone is inept in this place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have survived this long because they have walls. That's honestly the only reason.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise they're weak.
You can clearly see their skills at scavenging are not the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they lose people on a constant basis.
They don't know how to
Because that
fight.
kid's an asshole.
Yeah. Their faults lie within their walls.
Oh, and it's totally not because they don't know how to fight. They know how to fight. They're just stupid.
Yeah.
Someone on The Talking Dead said they're kids playing at war.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They can fight, sure, but they don't have the, knowledge
Yeah.
Well, they
properly.
playing Call of Duty, like there's a
Yeah.
reason to fight.
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
I could kind of understand what they were getting at when they were playing around with that zombie, right?
no.
No. I'm not saying that it's right. I can understand where
Yes.
they're coming from.
Oh,
I
sure.
can. I can somewhat justify it, but that does not make it right by any means. Just it's the walker that killed their friends, you know, whatever. So they want to torture it. They don't want it to just die in this quick fashion like anything else, like any other random zombie out there. They want to play with it, as in torture it. You know, it's kind of. I get it. But when you put other people's lives at risk over it.
Yeah.
That doesn't
And it's
fly.
not even that they wanted. It's not like it's a person. It's not like it feels or can be redeemed. It can't feel anything. We have another case of they don't understand what the walker is.
Yeah.
They think torturing it's gonna make it pay. It doesn't pay. It's a walker.
They're like
Yeah.
kids in regards to that. They're like, well, you
Poking
took
a.
No, but it makes
so
me
now
feel.
we're gonna,
It makes me feel better if I keep on punching the
Yeah,
tree.
it's
You
like
know,
children. Children.
it's honestly what they're doing. They might as well just punch a tree.
It kills your friends. You kill it.
Well, it's like
And thus the
That's
circle of
what
life
you do.
continues.
life and death.
But you gotta love how Glenn just knocks him the fuck.
I know. Thank God. He's like, no, you want to back off. You're gonna want to back off.
So
And I love Deanna, her own son. She's like,
Yeah.
thank you for doing
Fuck
that.
him.
Thank
Fuck
you.
him.
He deserved it, basically.
Let's talk about Deanna. We know she's a congresswoman. We know what she is, but who is she? Can we trust her?
Like they said,
she's the governor's ex-wife.
You can't.
Oh, but he wasn't a real governor.
I know.
Doesn't count.
I wish she was the governor's ex-wife.
Oh, my husband Brian. Have you seen him?
Brian's not his real name. Not his real name.
Oh, whatever. Gregory. Jim
His
Tate.
real name's the governor.
I really think she's got something to hide more than what she's showing.
Well, it's Congress people. You can't really trust them too far. like they said on The Talking Dead.
Oh, wait, you're a politician?
I mean, I do really like the concept, because what they filled us in on The Talking Dead that we didn't really get information on during this episode, who it may come into play later on in the next, we have 4 episodes left after this, may come into play in these next 4 episodes, but the video recordings are actually on public record. Anyone from the town can go in and view these videos and see these interviews with the people to kind of get a better feel for them. I think that's really cool, because if, like Daryl, for example, you see Daryl out walking the streets or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I need to know more about him. You're not going to be able to confront the guy and talk to him. It doesn't work that way, you know? But because of who Deanna is and the relationship she has with Rick, you know, instantly right off the bat, and everybody else is kind of reluctant to do it, but they do because of Rick and because of they're a family. So they do it. So now Daryl has an archive tape, and you can go in and kind of learn a little bit about him. And even if you don't get much information out of it, it still tells volumes about who he is.
Well, you learned that he has a crossbow and a possum.
Yes. So, Deanna keeps these tapes, keeps them on record for everybody to see. But what else is she recording? Since she preaches transparency, is she being transparent, or is she spying on everyone? Are there like cameras in the houses?
I don't think they have
everything that's going on.
I don't think they have Wi-Fi there, right? So
no.
So if they did
CCTV,
if they did these cameras have to have like wires. They have to be, you know, like trailed out somewhere. So I don't know. They very well could be.
There could be hidden cameras.
No, I don't. I'm gonna have to say no, because at the same point, they don't even have phones.
Yeah.
So if you saw wires coming out of the house, other than if they were electrical wires, you'd question it and be like, "What the hell?"
Unless she's just using people to watch other people.
That's true.
And they're reporting back and things like that. That could be a thing. Who knows?
I mean, I think if there were cameras and stuff like that, then there's that one kid, the girl that ran off and climbed over the fence, you know, whatever, and Carl was following her. I think that would have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, she's still new. What if? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like if you're a congressperson preaching transparency, you're probably not transparent yourself. So whatever she's keeping, maybe it's not cameras, maybe it's something else.
There's definitely something else.
You know what? She's lying because I can't see through her. She's solid. I don't trust her.
That's just it. There's something.
Anyway.
Talking about legit transparency.
No, I know.
Like glass.
So, Rick goes back to take his gun, and it's gone.
Blender gun.
Who's got the blender gun?
I don't know.
Did anybody think it was possibly the gun they handed to...
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought. It was like when they were going...
The gun they handed to Glenn.
The mock run. I swear to God, he goes, "Oh, look at this cool one that I found."
I don't remember what he said exactly.
What? Okay,
You know,
so
I completely
I don't
forgot Rick
believe
had put a
that-
gun in that blender,
Yeah.
and when I was watching that scene, I was like, why is Rick, like, peering into this blender? Like,
He lost his margarita mix,
I
damn it.
made sure to bring up the
Shit.
blender gun last week because that shot. I mean, they showed him putting it in. It's gonna be important, just like the machete, or whatever he. No, it was a gun. Was it a gun he hid, or the machete that he hid outside in the camp, outside of Terminus?
Terminus, he hid a
Oh,
bag
yeah.
of guns.
Bag of guns. So, like the bag of guns, him hiding the pistol was gonna be important.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think that the people at Alexandria have the gun. I think it's either the 3 exiles or it's the girl who jumped the wall.
She might have.
Because
Now,
she ran off away from Carl before Rick went to look in the blender.
house. Yeah.
And she was out in the woods with them when they were coming into Alexandria because Carl saw her reflection in the window of one of the houses.
Yeah.
So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think she has the gun. Yeah, I think she has the gun.
yeah, I think it was that house, yeah.
Now, do you think that the walker that like crawled out of the rubble there, that like grabbed Rick's ankle, that clearly wasn't there the first time, or if it was very stupid.
Yeah.
But like, it couldn't have been there because it would have come and gotten him after, the first time, right? Like,
Yeah, or made him
do you think that's the walker that was hanging up in the tree that was gone?
No,
No.
because they have the walker that was hanging in the tree was
Or
the
that
one
was
with
Skin
Capitana.
Guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the one where they grabbed the skin on the back. Yeah.
Skin belongs on your body.
Which, for the record, that was an incredible scene.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
really.
Okay, never mind then.
Just like, oh, there
I don't know
goes the
what I'm talking
skin.
about.
Skin.
Skin.
That was unbelievable. They said that it took 4 makeup artists 4 hours to do that, and
Yeah.
that it was well worth it. That was a great scene.
God, yeah.
And was it Greg Nicotero that said, I've wanted to do this for a long time? I'm like, you're a sick man.
You're a fucked up guy.
I mean, it's cool because you don't really get a lot of one-on-one personal interactions with the zombies. They're usually coming in hordes. So when you do get those one-on-one interactions, to be able to do something special like this, it's something you're going to remember. You know,
Oh, definitely.
you like this scene is going to stick with you a lot more than like say the train tunnel zombies from last season.
Yeah. Well, I
You know?
mean, when you get attacked by a lot of zombies, you just remember the horde. If it's like one that's a particularly difficult one, I mean, you're gonna remember it.
Like bloated one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, the blue one.
Or the guy with the rebar in his
They
neck.
ripped him in half. That
Well,
was
yeah, that's just it. It's true. They all had.
You're right, the rebarb. That was a good one. Block Michonne.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Me-
me and John had to watch the first couple minutes of the episode again, but we didn't remember seeing Gabriel the whole time. We were like, was Gabriel even in this episode? Where did Gabriel go?
I think I saw him very faintly in the
I said this
backgrounds,
there.
but
He was there.
Is he?
he was definitely in the house. I remember that much when they were all like spending the night, and Deanna showed up and like looked around, and they panned around the room to see the whole family.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He didn't have any lines, but
yeah.
he stood there.
I was gonna say I don't think
Yeah.
he would walk off himself.
It was just funny because we were halfway through The Talking Dead, and I was like, or John was like, was
I was
Gabriel
like,
even in this
Gabriel
episode?
here?
Where was Gabriel?
Yeah, I said the same thing to Pat. I was like, where was Gabriel?
Zombie food.
Zombie.
He was on a Bible journey,
He went on a vision quest.
a vision quest. He took some peyote and left.
He
So-
became Jehovah Witness now. He's knocking door
That's
to
right.
door.
He converted.
The Watchtower.
Oh god. So everyone's obviously adjusting different. Poor Daryl.
I know.
Daryl just will not budge.
He won't.
But because we went through this last season, was it, when we learned that Daryl was a nobody, in the old world, and it wasn't until the zombie apocalypse came that he really found his purpose, his niche in life. And I think he's kind of worried that, you know, if they become too complacent and comfortable, that he's going to be a nobody again.
Yeah. Yeah, and me and John were talking, and it was that he, in season 1, he was pretending to be Merle. He was pretending to be someone he wasn't.
Yeah.
And he really found himself. And now that they're in Alexandria and everyone has to put on these roles, Daryl doesn't want to put on a role.
No.
Well, he
That's
never
not
really.
who he is anymore.
No, well, that's what we were saying. He didn't. He was,
The thing is, though, I think Deanna is going to end up finding the perfect job for Daryl, that he's gonna feel happy in that role.
needed, wanted.
Yeah, he's going to feel useful. I think
Hunter.
there still is room for Daryl in here as Daryl.
Of
I don't think
course.
he needs to conform and be,
That's-
you know, a sheriff or, you know, a congresswoman.
Yeah, of course. But I think he's looking at this like, none of this is right. We're in a fancy house. What is fancy house?
This is like organized. Like,
Can I have a hut again, please?
I mean, he didn't even take a shower.
Yeah,
Nope.
no. He lied to Carol. And Carol, you're covered in dirt. Of course you didn't take a shower, you dummy.
Yeah, I
Go take a
showered.
shower.
Yeah, I showered and then I
I'll
rolled
shower.
around the dirt afterwards.
You could also be afraid of going back to the old way too, though.
Yeah, I think that's what some
Exactly.
of them are afraid of.
Mm-hmm. They even said it numerous times.
Yeah, but then we have Carol on the other hand.
Carol.
She's got like this stealthy co-op mission going on over here. Covert, you know,
Oh
like,
my god.
what the hell is she doing?
She's in the interview and she's like, "Oh, I miss my stupid, lovable husband," and I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?"
I know.
I was like, "No, you don't. I know you better than that."
Back to Betty Crocker.
She was afraid.
And then as soon as when she said that, I was like, "Oh, she's really hamming it up," because when
Uh-huh.
she was taking off her gun, she was like, "Oh, what is a gun?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what a
Oops.
gun is." They had to carry me. They protected me. I'm like, bitch, you saved everybody. Everyone is alive and there because of you.
Was I
Yeah.
the only one laughing at her when she was taking the gun off?
Oh, of course.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I thought her shoulder was still hurt.
I didn't know what the
Yeah.
hell was going on at first.
me
From
too. I was just kind of like,
What are you
well, I
doing?
thought she was
from
just-
Atlanta, I thought her shoulder was still hurt.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, she's just still hurt. But then as soon as she said, "I miss my husband," I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's funny because she acts like that, and then as soon as like
Oh yeah.
night falls and
Shit
Rick's
goes down.
night falls and Rick's in his cop suit. Yeah, I
Mm.
think we're gonna get too complacent if we stay here. She like flipped the dime real quick, like, yo, we gotta get sharp.
Yeah, because in that house, as long as nobody's watching them, in that house, she can say what she really thinks.
They need to keep their wits about them. That's
She's
Yeah.
got to keep that sweater on when she's outside the house, though. She's got to look like, the housewife.
She's got to play that role.
Oh, she gotta be
in
Betty
society.
Crocker outside the house.
Exactly.
Inside the house, she's like sharpening the knives, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
She's
So
prepared.
Yeah, she's prepared for another stealth mission. Like, she went into Terminus like a ninja. Now
Yeah.
she's in here like a, Russian spy, assimilated into the community.
Got her son.
Can I ask you guys something that just kind of occurred to me?
Sure.
Nothing to do with the topic, so this is a complete tangent. So if anyone has to say anything else, but you notice, like, Aaron was like, "Yeah, we don't have really good cameras, and this bitch is like a fucking digital
Yes.
camcorder."
Yes. Well, I think I
What?
brought this up. Last week. That the reason they would want to show blurry, not detailed photos is to protect them.
Yeah.
like, Before they bring anyone in, they show them these really vague photos, and that's to protect Alexandria, so that they can't, discern anything from it, really. Like, this is what we're about, but we're gonna, blur out the important bits, so that
I
you can't
guess.
come and take us over if you don't come with us. So it's a little bit of we're protecting ourselves.
Yeah, that's
while
just that they have to
showing
protect-
you.
I guess
Well,
that's
you-
it. I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
The unknown.
Hmm?
Your biggest strength is is the unknown. Your biggest weakness is showing all to everyone.
Yeah, showing your hand, your full hand.
True.
So
Royal flush.
just
Ah.
the family. I keep on using the family because we keep on using it all the time in this series.
Family.
But
Yeah.
they never show their true cards at the same point. And Rick constantly says, "Look, you shouldn't be opening the gates all this time." That's the only thing he keeps on saying.
Oh yeah.
Shouldn't be opening the gates because you never know how people are going to act when they have to survive. You know, they can
Everyone has an angle.
just take everything and that's it.
Exactly.
And Rick already stated at the end of this episode he's ready to turn on him if he needs to survive.
To
Well,
protect.
because and the thing is, Deanna might be a good reader of people, but so is Rick. And them staring each other down was like, I know you're not telling me something. I know there's something not right.
And you know what?
But they both kind of know it about each other.
And
Yeah.
she may be like good at detecting, you know, in a community that's been like organized and been what do you call it? Domesticated. But when you've been out in the world post apocalypse, everything's free.
But I think in contradicting it, I think she knows that Rick has ulterior motives.
Yeah.
She may not know what exactly all the ulterior motives are, but I think she knows that he's not laying everything down.
She's not stupid. She's very smart.
No, God,
So
yeah.
she knows it.
Like
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
for a few years.
So we have Daryl, who refuses to put on a role. We
Yes.
have Carol, who donned it amazingly and willingly.
She basically put
That's it.
a role out for herself.
Yeah.
She didn't wait for one to come. She
No,
put it on herself.
So and we have Rick, who we didn't know for like until the end of the episode what's going on in his brain. We lost the beard, guys. The beard is gone.
Beard's gone.
The
beard's gone.
Beard is in Daryl Dixon's refrigerator.
I
It is in
know.
Daryl Dixon's refrigerator.
It's so gross. What's wrong with it?
Shit. Norman Reedus is a fucked up guy.
He's
He is.
weird. I
He
love him
is.
so much. He's so weird.
He's a
I'm
fucked
very
up guy.
curious as to why he wanted that.
It's,
Props? I don't
I don't know. He's trying to grow his own dwarf.
I'm afraid if he owns a cat, what is he gonna do if like the cat dies? Is he gonna put it in his freezer?
No,
He's gonna
he'll
eat
give the
it.
cat the beard.
He'll
Put the beard on the cat.
Put the beard on the cat.
Maybe it was a symbolic thing for him. or
Maybe.
You know.
All I could think was, is he gonna turn it into like a fake beard for himself?
He just goes in the bathroom at night and goes, Rick.
something. I think
It's in a Ziploc
Rick.
bag labeled Rick's beard.
it takes things.
The prettiest Rick.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's been a long time since we've seen a clean-shaven Rick.
Yeah.
Season
He looks good.
1.
Season 1.
He cleaned up well. I have
The whole time I was just like, no.
Yep.
Not the
The
beard.
beard's going down.
The beard is your power.
There was a fist behind your beard. No, it's just.
He's not sure.
That's what I said. It's just another fist.
Right? Oh, what a good episode.
So, another thing I wanted to point out that I just was looked at. Apparently, the book that Michonne was holding was
Crime and Punishment.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like,
I saw that.
What was the book?
Crime and punishment.
Crime and Punishment.
Crime without punishment.
Oh, Crime Without Punishment?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said
You're
Crime
right.
and Punishment.
Nope.
Yeah.
I just
Wow.
I mean, it's gonna be interesting because Michonne is now playing sheriff with Rick,
Yes.
Yeah.
and
They can touch butts.
I feel like they're gonna come into not a conflict that's gonna tear them apart or anything like that, but just the way that they want to run things. I think is gonna be very different from what the other wants to do.
Maybe. But let's talk about Michonne, because Michonne wanted to come very badly. She from the beginning was like, let's do this. This is a good idea. We need to get out of this wilderness. And now that she's here, she's not all gung-ho. She is like, I am going to be on my guard. I'm not going to let my guard down. I want it to be good. I want this to be a good thing. But I'm not letting my guard down.
As she shouldn't.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because I do think that as soon as she sees a sign of trouble, she is going to be back to samurai ninja bitch.
Full force.
But I think Deanna's trying to use them both as a check and balances system.
Yeah.
But I don't think she realizes if shit goes down, they're going to side with each other and will do whatever it takes.
Well, just like they said, they'll take over. Or they'll do whatever they need.
Yeah.
Rick even said at the end.
Because I think she thinks giving Rick back his badge is going to, I guess, bring him back to the sheriff he was and take him out of the out of the bearded wild man.
Well, you can take the beard off the man, but
nope.
You can't take the wild out of the beard.
You can take the beard off the man, but you can't take the beard out of the man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. It seems like they're starting to become semi-domesticated in some aspects too, because you see both Carl and Rick with women in their lives. They seem kind of interested in.
Yeah.
And Rick's. She's married. She didn't say that.
No, she did not. But her husband seems like a douchebag.
She inquired to Rick.
Welcome.
She was basically trying to get the information out of him, and Rick's like, "Oh no, it's just me," But she didn't offer that information up.
He didn't ask either.
That's true. He didn't ask either.
That's true. But you would, I don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
But then you get the other girl that Carl's chasing around that seems clearly uninterested in him.
Or she just seems miserable in general.
Yeah, she's apathetic in general.
Yeah.
Because all they said about her was she just came into the group and she was living out in the world.
Yep.
Which makes me think either she lost her group before she got there, or the 3 exiled men were her group.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I was going to go with.
Yeah.
I'm like, we don't know anything about the exiles, really. She could be all alone, and the other 3 were kicked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't know yet, especially since she doesn't really talk, because especially if her people got ejected, she's not happy.
No, they didn't explain how they got ejected, did they?
No.
No.
Yeah. See, that's why it's like Deanna's like, I'm all about transparency. I kicked these 3 men out, but I'm conveniently not going to tell you why.
I know, right? It's like, well...
What was that about transparency again, honey?
Look, you really want to know they took a shit in a bakery. Middle of the floor.
They have a bakery?
Of course they do. It's a fucking hobbit town.
They have architects and fucking surgeons and
cable.
They have a screen ride.
But apparently they also have a stylist.
Yes.
She cut your hair.
She'll cut your hair. She'll do your
oh my god.
nails.
He said that man had 2 lines. You could barely see his face. And I'm like, you an asshole. I don't know who you are, but you're an asshole.
Rick, I don't like
Don't
it.
care.
My wife get you a haircut? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I'm watching you.
which one do you think is going to boil over first? Do you think it's going to be Rick and Porch Dude, or is it going to be Glenn and Patrol Dude?
They
That shit
boiled
happened.
over
They
already.
already did, Dom. They already had their dude.
What
for that.
needs to happen
That is not over. Do you see the way the guy carried on with the walker? How he tied the walker to a tree, and then they're gonna go back to torture it and all that. Do you really
they
think
do
this
it
is done
every
with Glenn? He just publicly humiliated him in front of the town. He knocked him on his ass.
Glenn
Totally
is
wrecked.
going to be Glenn and the patrol dude, because what's going to happen is that now Deanna's going to be like, oh, hey, Glenn, guess what? You're the head of patrol.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this guy's going to be like, fuck
Right.
you.
He'll
Fuck
end up getting
you.
himself killed, though.
She is smart. She has run this place for 5 years. But she let her son get out of control. So clearly she's not as effective of a leader or as smart of a person as we think.
Or
It's either that or she's unaware.
And
She's clearly not unaware because she's like, thank you for punching him.
Or
right, she
she
knows.
finds better. I
She
don't
knows
know.
Yeah,
who her son is.
But all parents and their kids get, they're mouthy back and forth to each other. It happens. So it could just be one of those relationships that they have where he's out of control with her, but when it comes to the town, he seems to have been fine. So she just let it go.
But
Well, yeah, he's like
out of
this is so
control outside of the walls. So that's not. She clearly knows it because she's like, "Thank you, Glenn, for
But-
punching him."
But the thing is, they're really like he's like the only one they had at the time for like that kind of work. Like, yeah, he was an asshole and he pretty much just did whatever he wanted. But like, he's basically the only one willing to go out with that other dingus.
But she's also
Guess what? 'Cause they get
So-
off on it.
so at the same point, until somebody else can fit the needs, she's gonna use whoever she can.
Right. Now,
And she knows Glenn is good at what he does.
Mhm.
And Glenn is not going to go back out with that guy. So it's either him or Glenn.
do you think because obviously now we're questioning how good is she? Do you think she could tell that Carol was lying? Like,
That's a good
because she's
question.
so good at reading people, like she's a poker player or whatever.
It's really possible.
Like, does she know? And like, she's sitting on that.
Listen, Carol, for a second, fooled me, and I know better. So I think
That's very
Carol
true.
might just
True.
be
Carol's got the ultimate
very
bluff.
good at bluffing.
Yeah, Carol's
Yeah,
got the
exactly.
ultimate bluff. The other one's a good poker player. She could read people, but there's always that bluffer where you can't tell. You're never too
But-
sure.
'cause
So I
you know
think that's
what?
what Carol is.
It's the thing is with Carol is like that used to be true. That used to be her. So like, I guess it's easy for her to put that face back
It's
on.
almost
It's not
almost
so
a double
much of a
bluff.
lie.
It's almost a double bluff.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
I think what's going to happen is they're going to suspect, like, Daryl or all these other people. And Carol, the one they should really be scared of, is the one they're never going to suspect.
Wait till she starts
Especially-
buying bouquets.
She's
Either
Yeah.
Got you
that,
flowers,
it's either
Deanna.
gonna go that way, or it's
Look
gonna
at the
go.
flowers, Deanna.
It's either gonna go that way. It's gonna go the complete opposite way. You're gonna be focusing on Daryl and all that, but they already know about Carol, and when you think she's gonna come and save the day is when she gets caught.
Maybe.
oh, that's possible, Dom.
Look at the casserole.
No?
I baked it with flowers.
They made Krabby snacks and homemades.
God. What are? Still don't know what those are. What are they?
You never will.
I'll never know.
What are they?
Anyway,
It's-
we don't know what they are. Anyway, so I forget which episode we were talking about this, but Glenn and Michonne seem to be on like opposite ends of the spectrum of we need a home and Michonne we need some place to settle, and then Glenn is like, dude, I don't really care about helping people anymore. But do you think Glenn has like come back to like, yeah, I care again?
I
Is
think
Glenn
so.
coming back to being Glenn again?
I think the previous episode proved it when he didn't let, what's his name, Ethan?
Aaron.
Thank you. Let Aaron die when he was tied up.
Yeah. I like Aaron. He's
You
pretty
know,
cool.
there was that option where if he was tied up, he could have just said, you know what, screw you. I'm just going to go get Rick and everybody else. I'm going to make sure all of us are safe. And he's like, no, you know what, I don't have time for you. If you want to run away, but you know what? I'm going to at least save you.
Well,
Yeah.
there was also, don't forget, last
Yeah.
season, there's that whole struggle with Glenn and Maggie and how they want to start a child and the debate on whether or not, having a child is right to do in this post-apocalyptic world. And, Glenn's on runs looking for, birth control or whatever he was looking for last season. And, there was that whole debate. And I think it came down to that they didn't want to raise a child in this world. But maybe things have changed now, with
Well,
this
that-
community.
They had that conversation when they were in the prison. This was before people got sick. This was before Herschel died. So they had a safe place where they had made it their own on their own terms. Now they're in this place.
I mean, it was safe, but it wasn't safe.
About this.
I mean, it was safe, but it wasn't safe because they knew they had that whole structure. The back wall was all damaged, and you know they knew that was a vulnerability. And you know, I think it was right around the time when people started getting sick. I think it was before people were dying to the sickness.
I think it was before. No, because people got sick like that. It was before anybody got sick.
Yeah, no, it was before.
Yeah, it must have been.
I mean, it's probably still a thought in their mind. I mean,
it very well actually may have been the same episode where the guy puked in the water supply.
That's right.
I think it may have been that same episode. So I think it was just before people were getting sick.
Yeah.
Like the same episode.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
But I think honestly, with Terminus, with losing each other, with all of that stuff, that's probably not even a thought anymore. And they don't feel safe here yet either, and they might never feel safe here.
He was getting some after that punch, though.
Yeah.
So he was getting some after that punch.
Oh, you know it. You saw her face when he walked away. She was just like, "That's my husband." Oh my god. So yeah, I mean, Rick and Michonne are deputies now, and what do you think that Rick is? Is Rick planning, or is this just is him saying we'll take it? I think
it's a contingency plan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're gonna play this by ear.
Well, yeah. They won't jump the gun or anything like that, but they're gonna definitely keep on their toes.
He's hoping for the best, but he's planning for the worst.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when shit hits the fan, if you don't have a backup, you're gonna die. So
I mean, that's the smart part about being a leader, is you have to have plan A, B, C, D, E, and F, just like
Moloch.
Yeah, just like Moloch from Sleepy Hollow.
Well, every time they started letting their guards down, that's when bad things started really happening. Yeah. So
they never had a backup plan when they were at the prison.
No, that's right, they didn't.
And when they were at the farm, they never had a backup plan when they were heading to Terminus.
No.
They haven't had a fucking.
Well, no. No, when they went to Terminus, Rick had the bag of guns.
Yeah. He had a contingency.
Well, that was
out there.
No, that was protection. That wasn't a backup plan. That was protection. Because he knew he probably had to give up something.
Yeah.
There's a difference between protection and a backup plan.
Yeah.
Went into that other place where Noah was. Really kind of went in there playing it by... No, not the hospital.
The problem with that was there was kind of no room for a backup plan. When they went in after Carol, like Carol and Beth, there was no room for a backup plan.
Yeah, no, that was
Went to Noah's old home.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Like every place they've gone to that's supposed to be a safe haven, they've never had a backup plan.
It's true.
Now it's like, well, look, we have walls, we have a fortified area, and we have a bunch of morons that are trying to protect this place.
Well, they're nice.
We know no matter.
I mean, even the prison, they had a if things go to shit plan kind of thing in place, but they got so lackadaisical with it that they didn't actually expect it to go into effect, and they were not prepared for it.
Exactly. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I want to know, is Rick going to share his contingency plan with everyone? Is it going to be just like, how's that going to work?
He'll probably share it with Carl because of the father-son zombie bonding that they had.
Zombie bonding walkers.
I think he'll share it with a few of the group.
I don't see. He's already shared it with Daryl. He's shared it with
Carol.
And was Michonne on the porch too?
No, she wasn't.
Nope, Carol.
That's the other person he'll probably share it with. And the only reason why I'm saying that is when we're going back to the prison, who was on the council? Daryl.
Who was on the council? It was
Daryl,
Herschel.
Herschel, and
Tyrese.
no,
Sasha.
Michonne.
Was it Michelle?
I think it was Michonne.
Was Michelle?
Yeah.
We saw the council
Yeah.
once.
Spaghetti,
It's a long time ago.
Spaghetti Tuesday.
Essentially, we're going back to the council again.
Yeah,
Do you think they're gonna carry over Spaghetti Tuesday to here?
They might.
maybe.
On Spaghetti Tuesday on Wednesday though, right?
Spaghetti Tuesday?
They might.
Spaghetti
That would
Tuesday.
be something that I would like to see a reference of, but they might not be in the state of mind. To,
I mean, I want to see
something
Spaghetti Tuesdays on Wednesdays. I want to see chocolate pudding. You know, SpaghettiOs. I want it all at once. Just give it to us all.
No, Sketty rings.
Was it
Skitty rings.
Sketty rings.
Sketty rings?
rings. Sketty and butter.
What are we?
Skitty.
Sketty.
Sketty.
Get in butter. I got a big heart.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you guys have to say about this episode?
It's very slow,
Wait to see
but
what-
it was that necessary. We need to see what's going on with this town kind of thing, and
Well, yeah.
you know, I think we're gonna see another probably slow episode coming up following this, but we only have 4 left for this season, and they're not gonna end the season on a good note. The season is not gonna be like, oh, we're all happy and blissful in this town. They're gonna
Well, I mean,
shit's gonna go down, and they're
Yeah.
gonna leave us hanging this whole summer, going, what happened?
Either somebody's going to attack them or tensions will rise.
Well, I assume that the exiled guys are going to try something.
Ah, that's.
Do you think the
That could
exiled
be.
people are in fact the wolves?
They might
Oh.
be part of them.
There's your ticket. That's what I was thinking.
That's right, you know, because I forgot about the wolves.
That's
See,
not-
this episode was really good in the fact that it took, because this group learned to like speak without speaking. So there are episodes where it's really silent.
Yeah.
And this was pages and pages of dialogue, and I'm like, nice. I haven't seen that. We haven't gotten this much talking like ever.
We still don't exactly know how many people are in this town either. We know there's a lot of houses because Rick started running down the street and he got lost. You know,
14.
so
If they're using the actual amount of houses in that community, there's 14.
okay.
But
I thought they said they built 2 as well.
there were 7 houses and they built 7.
Oh, okay.
So
Really?
Yeah.
I think there's 14
Gotcha.
houses in this community.
Do
Well, I
they
hope they sell them after the show's over.
Well, I'm sure they will.
Since they built, legit houses
Did they mention
Yeah.
that there were 14?
in the Talking Dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
they were
that-
saying that it was a grouping of houses, and then they came in and they built 7. 7 new houses. So that community is just hanging out there with these giant fucking walls.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Georgia.
need to go visit.
Yeah.
I gotta go find it. Take
Yep.
pictures. Take pictures on the set.
Road trip.
Road trip to Georgia when it starts getting warmer, because fuck that, it's cold.
And it was south
Yeah.
of the wall.
All right, you guys ready for next week's episode?
Yeah? Give it to me now.
No.
Next week is called Forget. Remember Forget? Huh?
Yeah,
See?
this
See
one
what
was
they're doing?
remember. I remembered
It's
to
like
forget.
it's a thing.
Rick and the group continue to acclimate to their new surroundings. Will they be able to go back to normalcy? Better yet, what is normal now?
Yeah.
They gave us an existential question as the next episode summary. So, I think it's going to be good.
It sure is.
I think it's going to comprise of like everyone like, oh, I'm freaking out because something's going to happen. Nothing's happened in a week.
Yep.
All right, John, where can the people find you?
I don't know. I guess that thing.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
No more on the Twitter.
Okay.
Or you can find me doing Let's Plays on YouTube at NHOJM.
Not-
Dom, your turn.
You can find me at Phenomenon.
You're taking my thunder, dude.
Yeah, what now? What do you
And
got?
Michelle, where can the people find you?
You can find us at
Michele.
Michele on that thing called the Twitter thing. I don't know.
No.
But you can also find us in time and space.
You can find me at Cliomoto on the socials and on Twitch at the Cliomoto. And you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week.
Bye,
See you
guys.
guys later.
Don't forget to watch us next week.
Never forget.
I'll remember.
Cleo, I like that one. It's fun. It's like